Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to Fist and Jawa Save the Universe. I am your host, Fist-25, and today we're going to check out a ship that I don't own and I will never own, but thankfully, I have a friend in the B Team org who is going to let me review it, and it is what I think is a cash grab. It is the Prowler Utility, the cargo variant of the Esperia Prowler. Let's roll that intro and get into it. All right, so welcome back. Thanks for tuning into the video. And as you can see, because I don't own it, I'm not going to review it in a hangar and make my friends stand around and wait for the wait for me to do like a tour and everything. So we're actually going to review this in space just outside of Gateway. Hopefully I don't get sniped, but I'll try to keep it as similar to other reviews that I have done in the past as I can, and we'll just see how this rolls a little bit. I do really like the shape and the look of the Prowler. I have yet to be in this utility. I actually owned a Prowler back in the day, the original Prowler, the stealth dropship variant, and when CIG came out with the cargo variant of the Prowler, it just kind of, the first thing I'm thinking of is, why do we need a stealth cargo ship? What is the use case for the stealth cargo ship? Because I just didn't get it, and I still don't get it. Don't get me wrong, it's a cool looking ship. I still have a bunch of paints for it, and I'll buy it in game at some point. But I just, it's an expensive ship with the alien tax, and I guess I just don't get it. So I want to give a shout out to Del Kenobi. Thank you for letting me borrow your ship here. I'll try to take as good of care of it as I can. We're just coming around here, and so the Esperia is a replica of a Tavaran ship because we can't get exact Tavaran ships. We are on the port side. I didn't mean to actually enter the ship there, but that is a way to enter the ship. Does it force me out as well? It does. Similar to like a prospector, but that is a different way to get onto ship. The Tavaran are a bird-like species, if you don't know, which is why the ship looks very bird-like with the kind of wings up here and things like that. Now on the dropship, each one of these panels is basically a shielded area where people can deploy from, but it has shields, so you can shoot out, but you know, it's shields going in, and that was kind of cool. But in general here, this is, well, we'll do a cargo mission, but it's I don't know, it's a little weird. It does have some weapons on it, I do have to say. It's got some deadbolt cannons and some light strike cannons. The reason I liked the Prowler to begin with, because it was one of the first ships in the game to come stock with size 5 weapons, which is kind of a big deal. Here is a forward turret. I believe it is a remote turret firing forward. The pilot can fire these guns. I believe these are the deadbolts, I think. Or the co-pilot can go into a remote turret. I know CIG has already tweaked this a bit to actually be stealthy, because when it came out, it was not stealthy. And apologies on the lateness of this view. As we go around the port side, we can see it kind of has that armored spine back here, and I'm not really finding much things to mess with or do anything around here. The ramp button is back here in the back, and you can see how when it closes up, that's kind of what it looks like. It looks, our work is phenomenal. Looks really cool. It is a symmetrical ship. So it's going to look the same on the port, on the left as far as the right, the port and the starboard. I don't think this is a door. It's not. So I imagine I've yet to be on the ship other than filming. So there's that. I think that's the deadbolt. And these are the light strikes actually up here. So let me correct my previous statement. That is the outside of the ship as far as a tour goes of me flying around in space. Now, let's go ahead and open ship up. We will head into the red interior. Come down there. The Prowler Utility. So it has the same closure mechanic, which is up here on the top. Closed door. If it wants to show up, there we go. And that'll close that back door up. It looks like there's an open here as well. This might be for the cargo bay. Yes, that is the cargo bay opening. Really, really sick looking animation. Having the, you put the cargo there, I'm assuming it would go on the bottom and you would close that up. And it should have one over here for the port side as well. So pretty cool. And then I would imagine your cargo just hangs out on top here. I believe the cargo space is 32 SCU. We'll check that more when we get into a loadout. Moving forward on the ship, you see that is a ladder that will take us up to the second deck. There is 2 decks in here. And that there is areas that you can put your weapons. So, yeah. So you can store up to 4 rifles in here. And I don't see any pistol slots right away. That is that door where we came in off the side. And that is... what is this for? It's not for a mega. I don't know. Maybe that fits something else. I was wondering if that fits like a pistol, but it's probably going to fit something else. And then this is basically a crew member can hang out and just kind of go for a ride and sort of see out. So you can definitely have passengers on here. 1, 2, 3, plus the pilot, plus the co-pilot. So at least 4 people on board the Prowler Utility. I just... this is. It's bugging me. If you know what that is, put it in the comments if I don't figure it out. The bottom seat is actually the co-pilot seat. And we'll go ahead and enter the co-pilot seat, and then we'll head upstairs, check out the pilot seat. I do like the way that the ship is designed on the interior with all the ribs and everything. It is cool, but it does seem like it's a little bit of a, it's a variant of something that already exists. So take that with a grain of salt. Buttons in the co-pilot: engine on, engine off, enter our remote turrets, or use the tractor beam. Looks like it does have a tractor beam. Tractor beam does come out of the ship. I do remember seeing that in the trailer. That's actually super useful to have. That is, so it's on the bottom. It would have to be on the bottom, because those guns are facing forward. So pretty cool, because you're going to load all your cargo up from the bottom. So I do like that. Let me see if I can switch turrets here. No, not quite. Yeah, I did switch turrets. So this is the remote turret that is on the top, the dorsal turret. Oh, does this have the deadbolts? Those look like ballistics. Yeah, they are the deadbolts. So, I'm actually flying. I may be unintentionally moving. I think I was. Okay, didn't mean to do that. These are the deadbolt 3s that are up on top, because we can't engage with our light strikes. Okay, heading out of the remote turret. On the left, we have open exterior, which will let us press unlock, open and close exterior, and power on, power off. Looks like there's 4 MFDs for the co-pilot. I'm hoping it'll be the same for the pilot. And they can fly. Here I am flying the Prowler from the co-pilot seat. And all that stuff is pretty standard throughout most of the updated ships in Star Citizen. So we're going to go ahead and exit the co-pilot seat and take our sweet time getting out. This is what I was talking about. The ribs, the kind of bird-like look in here, just the way everything is very angular and designed, it does look like that's a shield right here as I go through it. So I don't know if that'll matter for depressurization and stuff at a later time in the game. Let's go ahead and head up the ladder. No elevators in Prowler or the Prowler Utility. We can see that that is the pilot seat, which we will enter in a little bit. And I don't know what that is. Probably a component rack. Yeah, some kind of a component rack up there. Does it even say? It doesn't really say. Component is up there. It's probably shields. More components. So it looks like 3 component bays right behind the pilot seat. Heading aft. Little compartment with even more components. We do have an engineering terminal that one day we'll be able to use. One day soon, TM. Couple more components over there. Open components over here. Fuses over here. Not sure what. To get onto the fuses. Not sure what that little bay is. More components over here. This is probably a jump drive. Yeah, so just really a component room over there. So there's no beds or anything like that in here. Interesting. So let's go ahead and enter the pilot seat. This review might go pretty darn quick. So this is kind of a Tavaran technology. So I'm going to go ahead and turn off power. And you can see that the front of the ship, like the viewport, closed down. And while you can't see it from outside of the ship, it just looks like that. Looking inside the ship, it looks like that. So I'm going to go back to flight ready. That goes away. And so that is a cool feature that's been around since the Prowler as well. Let's look at our mission numbers. We have 4 MFDs for the pilot as well. Let's zoom in a little bit. Looks like right now with we go default power, which is just -1 on guns. It looks like we are at 4.8 infrared, 3.1 EM, and cross section is 4.2. That was the one that was having the issue before. Cross section was really high, and of course it depends on what angle the enemy is viewing you at, whether they're viewing you from the front, the side, or the top, or the bottom. You have different cross sections for that, but it looks like right now infrared is putting us 4.8 thousand, which is about 4.8 kilometers, except that the background radiation, which is the red number, is 1.8. So really 3 is our IR range right now. And if we, it's right now the highest range is cross section, because I don't know why this is increasing, but because cross section is higher than 4.8 minus 1.8, that's how people would be able to detect us. Other than that, 4 MFDs, a radar in the front. Looks like the same buttons. We can do remote turret here as well. Yeah, remote turret and the tractor beam, so everything can be accessed by the pilots. Very cool. Let's give her some speed. See how she flies. Looks like SEM speed is 207, maybe 208 tops. Give it boost. Boost is actually pretty darn good there. We're 436 for boost. And we'll let her come back down. See how fast she brakes. Not bad, not bad. Now, on the ship, I know that these little guys, these little circular things, the intent for these was that this ship was going to be able to kind of like skim the ground and kind of almost like a hover mechanic type of deal. And of course that tech doesn't work. So there's more stuff for them to do in the future, I guess. We'll switch over to quantum mode. The sounds are really cool. And we'll go ahead and give it a, we'll see our maximum speed here. Acceleration is okay. It's not particularly great. But it does go fairly quick, 1,109 meters a second. Looks like it's right around, maybe 1110 is probably the actual max speed. So it does move pretty quick. We can test out our G's. 6G, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12.2. We have reached our G limit, and I'm not blacking out or redding out, so that's good. Maneuverability is average for a ship of this size. It's not particularly great. It's not particularly bad. I'd say it's about where it should be. And there's no more button to reduce IR emissions, so that's not a thing anymore. So I guess if we wanted to reduce IR, we could do things like turn off our weapons. Oh, that really didn't do much. Let's get out of our quantum drive here. Let's see what we can do to reduce our emissions. So with weapons off, our infrared is at 4.8 and our EM is at like 3.5, 3.4 going down. We turn weapons back on, IR stays the same, and EM is like 3.1 or so, holding steady. Go ahead and turn weapons off. And EM is falling. Now, we don't necessarily have to worry about EM because, again, IR is the highest thing we have here. So they will be able to find us with IR, with infrared before they're going to find us with EM. So keep your EM on. Even if I power up one more, I think you're fine with that. Turning off shields. Again, it's going to reduce your EM emissions. So maybe it's good against EM missiles, but your IR signature is pretty high, even though with the radiation belt that we're in, no one's going to see us right now.
Shields on.
Maybe that was a bug, but regardless. If we turn on our quantum drive, you can see our IR jumped up a bit, but our EM jumps up pretty heavily to 8.1. So they would find us pretty easily, just at right around 10 clicks. So I think that's really it for flying it around. Stealth dropship, I guess let's go do a cargo mission and go from there. Stand by. One thing that I forgot about was that this is an alien ship, and so its quantum technology is a little bit different. You get this alien quantum, the green with the yellow rings coming in instead of the normal human ship quantum, and that is pretty darn cool to see. Kind of like with the Van Dulen, they get their red quantum coming in. So ship does look super cool. These the cells up here, they do come down in a VTOL configuration, so that's nice. We'll do a little bit more of that when we do the actual cargo mission, but just wanted to show off the quantum here a little bit. All right, guys, so I am here at this place. We're going to try to collect this cargo. A lot of abandoned ships around here. So you see how the legs kind of came down? We'll see how useful the tractor beam is from a location here at the bottom. Forward, and we're going to drop down. See if we can refuel real quick. Can. How nice is that? And we'll go ahead and turn the engines off. Here's the problem that I see is what's about to happen right now. I need to leave the seat. And now granted, I will fly on the co-pilot seat next time, because why go all the way up to the pilot seat? But when I'm coming over here and I exit the ship, not that big of a deal to exit and then come back on. I didn't mean to do that. But you do need to open the cargo bay sides and back here. And now I'm kind of leaving my ship a little bit more. Oh, of course, the elevator doesn't work. Fantastic. All right, let me close up the ship. Oh, now it does work. Okay. Of course, it works as soon as I close the door to the ship. So yeah, let's have these missions and then not fix the cargo elevator problem. Okay, I'm gonna send this stuff up. We're gonna try to use the actual ship to move this cargo. So here's my problem with this is when I'm in the co-pilot seat or the pilot seat and I'm doing this mission, my only options for buttons is to open or close all of the exterior, right? So I can, let's say everything is closed. I'm closing my cargo bays and I'm closing that back door as well, right? Well, if I just want to open the cargo bays, I have to physically go do it, right? Because I want to stay in the seat here and use the tractor beam, which is completely possible, but I have to open up my back door, which means there's a chance for piracy to come in here, and that is a problem. So we are going to pull out the tractor beam. I think it's a bigger problem. We're going to see how easy it is to load things. Maybe. And I really can't. I really can't. So this is more for space. Yeah, it's not coming on. So with the ramp down, I think that tractor beam's fairly useless. Let's see if it even works with the ramp up. It's not that big of a deal to run back and forth, but certainly wasn't thought through enough, I think, by CIG. Okay, let's go into the turret. Okay, now we're gonna face in the back. Even though we have a little bit more clearance, I still don't have enough to get anything in the back there. So, yeah, that tractor beam is gonna be good for space. It's not, and for rearranging the stuff, your cargo. It's not gonna be good for doing missions like this because I can't see out of the back. So I'm gonna go ahead and just like drop these off on the side. We're still gonna try to use that cargo beam, the tractor beam. I'll try to make it even. We're doing the 4.2.1 cargo missions here. I figured why not just do one of the missions and go from there. But when you're gonna unload, I think something to keep in mind is your ship needs to be kind of landed at the side, inside of a hangar, and don't put your back end facing the freight elevator because you, unless you're in the air, won't really be able to get anything off. Now I probably could have gone up in the air a little bit and done this from the elevator, but again, that's not the point. The point is to use the ship as intended. So I was just having a debate with one of my friends as well in the org. It's his ship actually, of what is the point of stealth cargo missions, and right now I just don't see a use case for it. It's a little too niche right now. So I can actually see the cargo now, and I can see the cargo grid. 32 SCU. I don't love it. Okay. Okay, that one went on pretty easily. Of course. I picked up the one on the back. That one went on pretty easily too. Okay, we're gonna stick that back there. That one up here. It's pretty fast to do this kind of stuff. It's kind of a nice little box for the cargo grid, like a hit box. Oh, see, hard, very hard on depth perception. Let the tractor beam go. Okay, good enough. That one went up. Thank God we can do it kind of the way we're doing it there. Okay, and that one went up, and we're going to go ahead and exit the remote turret. We're going to close our exterior and see everything close up. Very nice. Okay. So we're all closed up. We'll go external. Start our... Yeah, engines are started. We're going to go ahead and lift up. Sounds good. Change the landing gear out, and we'll fly away. Now we need to unload this cargo, I think at Tressler or something like that, because we're in the microtech system. And then we may take this out for a little combat ride. We'll see what we can do. Stay tuned for the next part of the mission. All right, so we're coming to land in my hangar. It's my home base, so it's extra large. I don't think we're going to be able to leave this hangar. Maybe we will. So I'm not sure if we're going to be able to actually test out the combat. Might be able to because it's my hangar. But again, as I mentioned before, I want this kind of to the side of my freight elevator instead of front back. But, I mean, not that I care so much in my freight elevator. We'll go ahead and do one side with the tractor beam and the other side by hand. I mean, it kind of is the point, actually. I should open it. An exterior. I do think the tractor beam being out here is actually super good. Being on the bottom as it is. Let's see how far it can actually go. It's a little weird how the movement is. That went well. 150 meter range. Yeah, that went really well. I just do them all. Gosh. See how the tractor beam's a little wobbly? I still have to get off the ship to complete the mission, so that's the whole thing. Whoa! I guess the overcorrection here is can it clear the bottom? Yes, just barely. Package may be delivered, or may be damaged upon delivery. We're not responsible for the condition of the tungsten when it gets to you. So sorry, architect. Okay, go ahead and exit. Seat that takes forever to get out. See, the cargo is no longer attached. We do have that one box that was a little rogue. Fix that real quick. Turn in this small mission because, you know, there's only small missions when I looked at it. And we're missing an SCU. Fantastic. I probably left it at the station where it didn't come up in the elevator. Because I don't see it attached. Yeah, that's awesome. So this mission is going to be completely pointless. I won't get any money, but the purpose of the video was made. And that is the Prowler Utility in its cargo delivery configuration. What did you guys think about that? Do you think it's I mean, is it even worthy of being called a cargo ship? Because it's, I mean, tactically, it hauls cargo. We'll go ahead and lift the Prowler up because we are able to leave a hangar. We're going to do a little bit of space combat. Let's see how that goes. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave Microtech here, and I'll see you at space combat. I think it's on a moon, so we'll get to see how the utility handles in that. One thing I didn't mention was that missiles. Oh, I am in. Oh, for missiles. Empty. I don't know if the ship has missiles in it, to be quite honest with you. But it does have guns. Deadbolt 3, Light Strike 4. So we'll see how the combat goes. Stay tuned. Okay, so I am quite far away from my target. It looks like from here, I do have some infrared background, but a 7.9 clicks and no missiles is my stealth for EM. So as I get closer, I'm gonna go into combat mode in about 12. So that guy right there should not be able to see me. This is just a tracker training because of new action. And then he disappeared as well. So I do see him. I do miss the days where we actually saw their ship name. But now he's targeted. Okay, there we go. Now my gun moves. So he should not be able to see me. It looks like it's a mantis.
Contact.
Now it's neutralized target. He still should not be able to see me. So I don't see him flying to me. I don't know. You kind of come in fast and quick, but sometimes you're like, what's the point? My guns are out of range of that, so... the guns look like they're pretty close as far as targeting is concerned. And ballistic cannons can do a lot of damage as well. Lost them in the sun. Here we go. Yes. Prowler should be able to take quite a bit of a beating as well. It's a rather large ship. Attention to altitude. You go, Mantis. There you are. Did he go? I think he went. Go head to head with this guy. See how much damage Prowler can take. Though he is much more maneuverable than I am. But he's low skill because of this mission. He's gonna fall to Microtech and die. So all in all, it looks like the Prowler took a licking, kept on ticking. No visible damage. I don't think the shields even came close to going down. So it did a pretty good job, and that was an atmosphere as well. It was a lot more maneuverable than I thought it was going to be. So kudos to the Prowler Utility on being pretty good in a fight, to be quite honest with you. Let's head back home and we'll wrap up the video. Stand by. All right, folks. So here we are at the loadout section for the Prowler Utility. And I was debating whether I was actually going to do this, but I think I'm going to try to go through it as fast as I can, right? Still not a big fan of this ship. But when we look at the ship, it is a size 3 ship. Pretty darn large, right? It's got it says crew size of 1, realistically, crew size of 2. But really, there's a spot for 5 people on that ship. Max SCM speed 208. A boost speed 437. We found that out in the video. Max nav speed 1,110. Decent picture on roll. It actually handled a lot better than I thought it would, especially on the dogfight on Microtech in atmosphere, heavy atmosphere like Microtech. It handled pretty well. And the guns did surprisingly well as well. Power consumption 6. I don't know why that's up there. It really depends on your components. Again, 32 SU of cargo. It has decent hit points. Like I said, 69,300. The Prowler could take a licking, right? And it's got 4 size 2 shields. So it can fight. But it is, compared to a fighter, it is slow. If I had a real challenge, those guys would have wiped the floor with me. It's got quite a bit of quantum fuel and quite a bit of hydrogen as well, as I would say. I didn't really have an issue with fuel flying all around the system doing stuff, so I take that with a grain of salt. But let's look at some of the components for the Prowler Utility. The comes with the 2 kind of main weapons there on the bottom. The size 4 light strike 4 laser cannons. And then on the remote turret is the size 3 deadbolt 3 ballistic cannon. So 2 size 4s, 2 size 3s. The remote turret is slave to the pilot, so it can only go so far. And let me make this big for you. Apologies on that. There we go. Sorry about that. So these cannons. Here's the thing: the speeds of these weapons are fairly close together, right? Light strike 4, at least I think. The ammo speed 1728. And the deadbolt 3s, 900. So actually, they're farther apart than I thought. When I was shooting them, they felt like they were much closer, especially compared to something like the Meteor. What I might do is swap these cannons out again for an attrition 4, much better DPS. And I mean, ammo speed on this guy's 1,000, right? And probably get rid of those ballistic guns on there, and maybe let's see what has a good speed that matches us. Maybe the Tiger Strike. Good DPS on the Tiger Strikes, and the ammo speed's 1,200. That may be an option, or maybe you just go with more attritions, like attrition 3s, the exact same speed. And then you have a lot of DPS. I mean, you're talking 27, 16. I kind of like having the option of having ballistics and some lasers on there. So this is probably what I put on there. 2 attrition 4s and then Tiger Strike T21s. The tractor beam is a size 2, sure grip size 2. The shields, here we go. 4 size 2 stealth grade C shields. So it's already coming with stealth components all the way around. The only thing better that you can actually get, looks like you can get a shroud. It's grade D, so it's worse. The Umbra, I believe, is grade A, which you'll have to find that or steal it or something like that. And it's a little bit more hit points, 3,100 compared to 2,890, but I probably wouldn't go out of my way to go get it. It does come with a stealth grade A size 2 power plant. So that's a big deal. Right, like that's a really good power plant. It pushes 18 power per second. That's the max you're going to get for stealth, and it's really in comparison with some of the other power plants. I mean, the highest I'm seeing is 21. The quadricell for a size 2 power plant. Yeah, the rest you're looking at 19 and 20. So 18 is not terrible. For the coolers, stealth grade C heat sinks, and they're size 2 as well. You could, I guess, just buy an icebox, which is an upgrade for cooling. You can't buy the Nightfall. I would just leave the coolers alone. It seemed fine. For the quantum drive, it comes with the size 2 Nova, 171,000 kilometers a second. You can buy a Bolt, which is a little bit faster at 205 kilometers a second, and it's a grade B. You can buy that in the game. You can't buy the Specule, which is the grade A. You'd have to find that. But I mean, yeah, you're getting reduced emissions with stealth drives, but I would probably choose something that goes faster. But I would upgrade to a Bolt if I was going to upgrade it. And that's about it as far as those components go. Let's throw those items into the cart. And let's see. It's cooler that I don't want and the shield I don't want. So you're looking at roughly 423,000 alpha UEC to upgrade this to what I think is a good upgrade. And that's not terrible. It is quite a big ship. So let's move over to SC Ship's Performance Viewer. Really started to like this website as a tool. Again, carries 32 SCU, and it has a lot of the same information as ERKL. And then you can swap out the weapons and things like that as well. And then it gives you some graphs on the flight time and things like that. But what I really like this tool for is the comparison aspect and the stealth aspect, right? So because this is a stealth ship, that kind of stuff actually matters, right? Looking at the emissions breakdown, the EM, IR, the propulsion, things like that, it'll tell you all that kind of stuff. You can look at radar detection calculator. Like if we were going up against, I think we were going up against Mantis, RSI Mantis, which has a size 1. I think it's supposed to be encounter radar. Looks like this, at the base signatures of the Prowler Utility, we would be visible to our opponent from about 4 kilometers with infrared, roughly, right? Because of their scanner and because of our stealth. And in nav mode, we could be detected up to almost 7 kilometers out with our electromagnetic emissions. So this is a really nice calculator to have up here on SC Ship's Performance Viewer. And we can even do a different one too. Instead of the Mantis, let's say we're going to do a Gladius. It's roughly the same. It's the same radar. Let's say Idris M. That has a size 3 radar. It's a better radar. The Idris would see us coming from about 4.7 kilometers out. In nav mode, it would see us at 8.2 kilometers out. So you can always play with these numbers too. What I really like this website for is the comparison tool, right? So I have the Prowler, the base Prowler here on the left in red, the Prowler Utility on the right. And we can see the differences between these two ships. The Prowler itself is just a tad bit faster in SCM and boost, and it's a little bit faster in nav mode. Propulsion, the Prowler has it basically on everything here for propulsion, which makes sense of why it's faster. The shields are exactly the same between the two ships. The hull durability, really you're looking at the nose over here, but if you're looking at a total health pool, Prowler has 76,900, Utility 69,300. Still no slouch, but I mean that's a significant difference, about 7,000 hit points. You can also look at the emissions modifier and which ship is or could be a little bit stealthier. The dimensions mass are about the same. The Prowler Utility weighs quite a bit more. Looking at about 23,000 more kilograms than the Prowler. Interesting on that. Even more with cargo in the future. The internal ship storage, the Prowler has more, that's fine. The cargo grid, obviously, the utility is the only one with the cargo grid. Then as we look at actual cross-section stealth, the Prowler itself is more stealthy. In every single part of its cross-section, it is stealthier, which makes more sense because it is a dropship. Versus the utility, which is just a little bit more, but it's can be significant. The biggest cross section on the top 4.2 or 4,200 versus the Prowler's biggest cross section, which is also the top, is 3,700. The utility has more fuel, so it can go a little bit further than the base Prowler, and it takes less time to claim. I don't necessarily care about the fuel flow. So let's throw another ship in there. Let's throw the Ghost Mark II for all intents and purposes. It's a fighter, right? So the Ghost is going to be a little bit faster at SCM. It's going to be more maneuverable. As you can see, it beats it in every metric in propulsion. Obviously, way less shields being a medium fighter, way less hit points being a medium fighter. But when we can look at some of the emissions and stuff coming out, and I'm really concerned with the cross-section emissions, right? So if we look at the Ghost Mark II, it has a higher top cross-section than the Prowler. The Prowler can fit a damn Ghost in it almost, and it has a smaller cross-section than the Ghost Mark II. That's a problem, right? The Ghost should be way stealthier. Let's look up the Eclipse. Go down to cross section. And the Eclipse is much stealthier in a lot of aspects than the Prowlers. But the cross section on the side of the Eclipse, so the side where the Eclipse is literally the thinnest, it has a cross section of 4,300. At the top, where it's the biggest, the side. And that's higher than both of the Prowlers on the side. Prowler's huge from the side. So unless this SC Ship's Performance Sphere is wrong on the side and the top, the Eclipse is, cross-section wise, is less stealthy than the Prowler. Interesting, to say the least. For IR and EM, it is a little bit more, it's less stealthy as well. The stealthiest being the Prowler. So the Eclipse is less stealthy as well. Let's look at the Saber. Again, the Saber has a worse cross-section than the base Prowler on the side. I think it's legitimately, like, cross-section wise, is probably a little bit better in some of the other categories, but it still has a high cross-section on the side. And IR and EM, it is, again, less stealthy. Raven on the top, 4517 for stealth, which is the highest among all of these other numbers here in radar emissions. So right now, the Prowler looks like it's the stealthiest ship in the game, pretty much, and that's a shame because it's also the biggest stealth ship. But enough about these numbers and all stuff. I wasted enough of your time on that. Let's head back to me, and I wrap up the video of the Prowler Utility. Thanks for tuning in. So, all in all, the Prowler Utility, it is what it is. I still think it's an attempt from CIG to somewhat cash grab a variant of the Prowler, a ship that wasn't really popular to begin with. And it's not that I hate it. I love every ship in Star Citizen except for the Terrapin. And it's got some really cool qualities to it. It looks great. The design of it is fantastic, as always, which is probably why it takes so long to get ships out. But overall, I just don't see a purpose for the ship. 32 SCU is not a lot of cargo. And what is the point of having a stealth cargo ship? They're going to be able to detect you at like 5 clicks out, roughly. And Is it a piracy thing? Are you gonna then pirate stuff that they're gonna have a very low amount of time to come and intercept you or get ready to repel borders? I don't know, and I just don't know the actual purpose of this ship. It's, don't get me wrong, it's cool for what it is, but it's got low cargo capacity. The stealth is good, and you can carry some friends on it. It's got some multi-crew gameplay, not a lot, but some, and it's really expensive for what it is, which is the reason I didn't buy it. I have a lot of ships in the game, and I don't have a purpose for this ship in my fleet. I have stealth ships. I have an Eclipse. I have a Saber. I have a Saber Raven. Those all have points to them and missions that go along with it. I don't know what I would use this Prowler utility for. So I don't know. I hope it sells well. I hope CIG makes $1 million off it. I don't think they will, because it's so expensive and it's so niche in its goal. That's it for the review of the Prowler Utility. I hope you guys had a great time. I enjoyed filming this. Thank you again. Big shout out to Del Kenobi for letting me borrow his ship. I took good care of it, came back in one piece, 14 Alpha UEC worth of damage, and filled it up and stocked it for you. It'll be here at Microtech for you, buddy. I am Fist-25. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video and any of our reviews, make sure to smash that like and subscribe button so you can hit the notification bell so you can get notified of when all of our videos come out. We also make ship maps and do a lot of other stuff, which you can find at our website, fistandjawa.org. Link is in the description below, down on the bottom. And yeah, we have ship maps in there. I'm working right now on the Reclaimer map. The Hammerhead map already came out. We have the Idris, Polaris, and the Starfarer, and yeah, we're getting some stuff done, and it's labor of love, but it does take a while. So appreciate if you guys help us out, keep the lights on. If you want to help us out a little bit more, hit that join button, become a channel member, hop in the Discord, say hello. We're always open to new org mates and new flyers and people who just want to talk about the game. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you guys in the next one. Good night, Stan.